Fisheye. A very wide-angle lens with a field of vision covering up to 180 degrees, the scale being reduced toward the edges. Flatline. Informal die. Flycatcher. A perching bird that catches flying insects. Frontispiece. An illustration facing the title page of a book. Gorse. A yellow-flowered shrub with thin prickly leaves. Grungy. Dirty or grimy, untidy. Gunsmith. A person who makes and sells smalt firearms. Gunwale / Jenny / also gunnel. Hairbrush. A brush for smoothing one's hair. Handrail. A rail fixed to posts or a wall for people to hold onto for support. Herbalist. A person who practices herbalism, or one who grows or sells herbs for medicinal purposes. Hieroglyphic. Writing consisting of hieroglyphs. Hydroponics. The growing of plants in sand, gravel, or liquid, with added nutrients but without soil. Imaginings. Thoughts or fantasies. Immobilize. Prevent someone or something from moving or operating as normal. Impermissible. Not permitted or allowed. Imprudent. Not thinking about the results of an action, rash. Interdict. An authoritative order forbidding something. Interrogative. Expressing a question. Kazoo. A musical instrument consisting of a pipe with a hole in it, over which is a membrane that produces a buzzing sound when the player hums into it. Ketch. A type of two-masted sailboat. Knocker. A hinged object fixed to a door and wrapped by visitors to attract attention. Luxuriant. Of vegetation or hair, growing thickly and strongly. Masseur. A person who provides massage professionally. Moolah. Informal money. Nevermore. Literary never again. Non-white. Not white or not of European origin. Oriole. A brightly colored bird with a musical call. Overdrawn. Of a bank account, in a state in which more money has been taken out than the account holds. Patois. The local dialect of a region, especially one with low status in relation to the standard language of the country. Playpen. A small portable enclosure in which a baby or small child can play safely. Putsch. A violent attempt to overthrow a government. Quiescent. In a state or period of inactivity. Quintessence. The most perfect or typical example of a quality or type. Rearward. Directed toward the back. Redecorate. Decorate something again or differently. Redeploy. Move troops, employees, or resources to a new place or task. Re-examine. Examine something again or further. Retrovirus. Any of a group of RNA viruses that insert a DNA copy of their genetic material into the host cell in order to replicate, e.g., HIV. Rib cage. The bony frame formed by the ribs. Sacrum. Anatomy: a triangular bone in the lower back situated between the two hip bones of the pelvis. Scram. Informal: go away or leave quickly. Séance. A meeting at which people attempt to make contact with the spirits of people who are dead. Seascape. A view or picture of an area of sea. Septal. Relating to a septum or septa. Shoelace. A cord or leather strip passed through holes or hooks on opposite sides of a shoe and pulled tight to fasten it. Slat. Each of a series of thin, narrow pieces of wood or other material, arranged so as to overlap or fit slate into each other. Souk. An Arab market. Spoilage. The decay of food and other perishable goods. Sputum. A mixture of saliva and mucus coughed up from the throat or lungs. Squelch. Make a soft sucking sound such as that made by treading in thick mud. Stilton. Trademark: a kind of strong, rich blue cheese. Storekeeper. A person who owns or runs a store. Streetwise. Informal: having the skills and knowledge necessary for dealing with the difficulties of modern city life. Sunfish. Same or sunfishes, a large sea fish with tall fins near the rear of the body. Superhighway. An expressway. Swimmingly. Informal: smoothly and satisfactorily. Synovial. Relating to a type of joint in the body that is enclosed in a flexible membrane containing a lubricating fluid. Tartare. Served raw, seasoned and shaped into small cakes. Tea time. Chiefly Brit. Tonsil. Either of two small masses of tissue in the throat, one on each side of the root of the tongue. Touchline. Soccer and rugby: the boundary line on each side of the field. Transept. Either of the two parts extending at right angles from the nave. Trenchant. Expressed forcefully and clearly. Tress. A long lock of a woman's hair. Trilby. Trilbies, chiefly Brit, a soft felt hat with a narrow brim and indented crown. Turbocharger. A supercharger driven by a turbine powered by the engine's exhaust gases. Ulna. The thinner and longer of the two bones in the human forearm. Unacknowledged. Existing or having taken place but not accepted or admitted to. Uncontroversial. Not causing debate or conflicting opinions. Undervalue. Fail to recognize someone's or something's importance or worth. Unperturbed. Not perturbed. Upstage. Divert attention from someone else and toward oneself. Viscera. The internal organs of the body, especially those in the abdomen. Waif. A homeless and helpless person, especially a child. Warpath. In an angry or aggressive state. Watercourse. A brook, stream, or artificially constructed water channel. Zygote. Biology: a cell resulting from the fusion of two gametes. Acrimony. Feelings of anger and bitterness. Addressee. The person to whom something is addressed. Adenine. Biochemistry: a compound that is one of the 4 constituent bases of nucleic acids. Agoraphobia. Irrational fear of open or public places. Anopheles. A mosquito of a genus that is particularly common in warmer countries and includes the mosquitoes that transmit the malarial parasite to humans. Apse. A large recess with a domed or arched roof at the eastern end of a church. Arboreal. Living in trees. Ardor. Passionate feelings. Bakelite. Trademark: an early brittle form of plastic. Banzai. A cry used by the Japanese when going into battle or in greeting their emperor. Besotted. Completely infatuated with someone. Biosecurity. Procedures intended to protect humans or animals against disease or harmful substances. Birthstone. A gemstone popularly associated with the month or astrological sign of a person's birth. Brain dead. Having suffered brain death. Brawny. Physically strong, muscular. Breathy. Having an audible sound of breathing. Bullfrog. A very large frog with a deep croak. Businesslike. Efficient and practical. Cannoli. Italian pastries in the form of tubular shells filled with sweetened ricotta cheese and often containing nuts, citron, or chocolate bits. Cantankerous. Bad-tempered and uncooperative. Coalfield. A large area rich in underground coal. Cockle. An edible shellfish with a strong-ribbed shell. Comeuppance. Informal: a punishment or fate that someone deserves. Conversationalist. A person who is good at or fond of. Copse. A small group of trees. Cormorant. A large diving seabird with a long neck, long hooked bill, and mainly black plumage. Demerit. A mark awarded against someone for a fault or offense. Differentiable. Able to be distinguished or differentiated. Dignify. Make something seem impressive or worthy of respect. Disharmony. Lack of harmony, disagreement or discord. Effectual. Producing an intended result, effective. Enteric. Relating to or occurring in the intestines. Ersatz. Of a product, made or used as a poor quality substitute for something else. Footfall. The sound of a footstep or footsteps. Fractious. Easily irritated. Functionary. An official. Geomorphology. The study of the physical features of the surface of the Earth and their relation to its geological structures. Greenstone. A greenish igneous rock containing feldspar and hornblende. Gunplay. The use of guns. Herringbone. A zigzag pattern consisting of columns of short parallel lines, with all the lines in one column sloping one way and all the lines in the next column sloping the other way. Hosanna. An exclamation of praise or joy used in the Bible. Hyperthermia. The condition of having an abnormally high body temperature. Hyperthyroidism. Overactivity of the thyroid gland, resulting in an increased rate of metabolism. Ignominious. Deserving or causing public disgrace or shame. Imperil. Put someone or something in danger. Inveterate. Having a long-standing and firmly established habit or interest. Jiao. Same, a unit of money of China, equal to 1/10 of a yuan. Joyless. Not giving or feeling any pleasure or satisfaction, grim or dismal. Junket. A dish of sweetened curds of milk. Laddie. Informal, chiefly Scottish, a boy or young man. Lamppost. A tall pole with a light at the top, used to light a street. Lecherous. Having or showing excessive or offensive sexual desire. Macchiato. Espresso coffee with a dash of frothy steamed milk. Marsala. A dark, sweet fortified dessert wine made in Sicily. Marshland. Land consisting of marshes. Neodymium. A silvery white metallic element of the lanthanide series. Netherworld. The underworld, hell. Niobium. A silver-gray metallic chemical element. Northeasterly. An adverb in a northeastward position or direction. Northerner. A person from the north of a region or country. Ocelot. A medium-sized striped and spotted wildcat, native to South and Central America. Paperweight. A small, heavy object for keeping loose papers in place. Peen. The rounded or wedge-shaped end of a hammerhead opposite the face. Peritonitis. Inflammation of the peritoneum. Pharyngeal. Relating to the pharynx. Pinhead. The flattened head of a pin. Playgroup. A regular play session for preschool children. Porphyry. A hard reddish igneous rock containing crystals of feldspar. Prefab. Informal, a prefabricated building. Pretension. Often pretensions, a claim to equality. Prissy. Excessively concerned with behaving in a respectable way. Punctuate. Occur or interrupt at intervals throughout. Rebuff. Reject someone or something in an abrupt or ungracious way. Riverine. Technical or literary relating to or situated on a river or riverbank. Scanty. Too little in quantity or amount. Scorcher. Informal, a day or period of very hot weather. Sebaceous. Technical one relating to a sebaceous gland. Sheathing. A protective casing or covering. Skein. A length of thread or yarn, loosely coiled and knotted. Slammer. Informal prison. Snakeskin. The skin of a snake. Spliff. Informal, a marijuana cigarette. Steamroller. A heavy, slow-moving vehicle with a roller, used to flatten the surfaces of roads during construction. Sub-zero. Lower than zero, on the Celsius scale, below freezing. Syllabic. Relating to or based on syllables. Tattle. Gossip, casual talk. Teleconference. A conference in which participants in different locations are linked by telecommunication devices. Telex. An international system of telegraphy in which printed messages are transmitted and received by teleprinters. Transgress. Go beyond the limits of what is morally, socially, or legally acceptable. Turgid. Of language or style, pompous and boring. Umbrage. Take offense or become annoyed. Unapproachable. Not welcoming or friendly. Unbeliever. A person who does not believe in God or a particular religion. Undefended. Not defended. Venal. Prepared to do dishonest or immoral things in return for money. Vitiligo. A medical condition in which the pigment is lost from areas of the skin, causing whitish patches. Warder. Chiefly Brit. Weepy. Informal for inclined to weep, tearful. Yodel. Call of sing in a style that alternates rapidly between a normal voice and a very high one. Alga. A simple plant of a large group that contain chlorophyll but lack true stems, roots, and leaves, e.g., seaweed. Arthropod. An invertebrate animal with a body divided into segments and an external skeleton, such as an insect, spider, or crab. Audiology. The branch of science and medicine concerned with the sense of hearing. Baited. In great suspense. Baud. Computing a unit of. Billabong. Austral. Capsize. Be overturned in the water. Castrate. Remove the testicles of a male animal or person. Cheekbone. The bone below the eye. Cistercian. A monk or nun of an order that is a stricter branch of the Benedictines. Colorist. An artist or designer who uses color in a special or skillful way. Consistory. In the Roman Catholic Church, the Council of Cardinals, with or without the Pope. Constrict. Make or become narrower or tighter. Debonair. Confident, stylish, and charming. Decedent. Law, a person who has died. Determinate. Having fixed and definite limits. Dockside. The area immediately next to a dock. Downlink. A telecommunications link for signals coming to the Earth from a satellite, spacecraft, or aircraft. Dryly. variant spelling of Pritya. Echolocation. The location of objects by reflected sound, in particular is used by animals such as dolphins and bats. Engorged. Swollen. Entrap. Catch someone or something in a trap. Entrench. Establish something so firmly that change is difficult. Eyeglass. A single lens for correcting or assisting poor eyesight, especially a monocle. Fluorite. A mineral form of calcium fluoride. Footstool. A low stool for resting the feet on when sitting. Germane. Relevant to a subject under consideration. Gneiss. A metamorphic rock with a banded or layered structure, typically consisting of feldspar, quartz, and mica. Hemolytic. Relating to or involving the rupture or destruction of red blood cells. Heptathlon. An athletic contest for women that consists of 7 separate events. Heterodox. Not following the usual or accepted standards or beliefs. Highwayman. Historical, a man, typically on horseback, who held up and robbed travelers. Hominid. A member of a family of primates that includes humans and their fossil ancestors. Hymnal. A book of hymns. Ignoramus. An ignorant or stupid person. Imago. The final and fully developed adult stage of an insect. Incinerate. Destroy something by burning. In-depth. Comprehensive and thorough. Indictable. Making the person who commits it liable to be charged with a crime that warrants a trial by jury. Intricacy. Intricacies, one the quality of being complicated or detailed. Irksome. Irritating or annoying. Jackhammer. A portable pneumatic hammer or drill. Jainism. An Indian religion characterized by nonviolence and strict self-discipline. Khalsa. The company of fully initiated Sikhs to which devout Orthodox Sikhs are ritually admitted at puberty. Lampoon. Publicly ridicule or mock someone or something. Lemming. A short-tailed Arctic rodent that periodically migrates in large numbers. Loris. A small, slow-moving primate that lives in thick vegetation in South Asia. Macaw. A large brightly colored parrot with a long tail, native to Central and South America. Maglev. A transport system in which trains glide above a track, supported by magnetic repulsion. Megaton. A unit of explosive power equivalent to 1 million tons of TNT. Miserly. Unwilling to spend money, stingy. Mongoloid. Relating to the division of humankind that includes the peoples native to East Asia, SE Asia, and Arctic North America. Modal. Capable of motion. Neurotoxin. A poison that acts on the nervous system. Ornery. Informal, bad-tempered. Parathyroid. A gland next to the thyroid that produces a hormone that regulates calcium levels in a person's body. Pharynx. The cavity behind the nose and mouth, connecting them to the esophagus. Pompadour. A hairstyle in which the hair is turned back off the forehead in a roll. Postmark. An official mark stamped on a letter or parcel, giving the date of mailing and cancelling the postage stamp. Preeclampsia. A condition in pregnancy characterized especially by high blood pressure. Preemption. The action of preventing something from happening. Ptolemaic. Relating to the 2nd century Greek astronomer Ptolemy. Pummel. Strike someone or something repeatedly with the fists. Pyroclastic. Geology relating to rock fragments or ash erupted by a volcano, especially as a hot, dense, destructive flow. Quesadilla. A hot tortilla with a spicy cheese filling. Quixotic. Unselfish and idealistic to an impractical extent. Regurgitate. Bring swallowed food up again to the mouth. Rigor. In combination, a ship rigged in a particular way. Satsuma. A variety of tangerine with a loose skin. Silage. Grass or other green crops that are stored in airtight conditions without first being dried, silage used as animal feed in the winter. Sinew. A piece of tough fibrous tissue that joins muscle-toe bone, a tendon or ligament. Soapstone. A soft rock consisting largely of the mineral talc. Sportive. Playful, light-hearted. Stoplight. Another term for traffic ligootee. Suckle. Feed from the breast or udder. Sulky. Silent, bad-tempered, and resentful. Syncope. Medicine fainting caused by low blood pressure. Tear. A vetch, plant. Tranquilizer. A drug taken to reduce tension or anxiety. Unclog. Unclogs, unclogging, unclogged, remove a blockage from something. Uncompetitive. Not cheaper or better than others and therefore not able to compete commercially. Unemotional. Not having or showing strong feelings. Unemployable. Not able or likely to get paid employment because of a lack of skills or qualifications. Unmissable. That should not or cannot be missed. Untroubled. Not troubled. Unwary. Not cautious. Velociraptor. A small meat-eating dinosaur with a large slashing claw on each foot. Viticulture. The cultivation of grapevines. Waster. A wasteful person or thing. Adulterer. A person who has committed adultery. Aerated. Made fizzy by being charged with carbon dioxide. Arabesque. A ballet posture in which one leg is extended horizontally backward and the arms are outstretched. Ball. Shout out noisily. Beaujolais. A light red wine produced in the Beaujolais district of Essy, France. Bellwether. The leading sheep of a flock, with a bell on its neck. Benefice. An office whereby a member of the clergy receives accommodations and income in return for their duties. Bhangra. A type of popular music combining Punjabi folk traditions with Western pop music. Broadsheet. A newspaper with a large format. Bulldoze. Clear ground or destroy buildings with a bulldozer. Carbonara. A pasta sauce made with bacon or ham, egg, and cream. Carthaginian. A person from the ancient city of Carthage on the coast of North Africa. Casebook. A book containing a selection of source materials on a particular subject. Casebook. Enclose something within a case. Cheerio. Brit. Chutzpah. Informal extreme self-confidence or audacity. Clod. A lump of earth. Cluck. Of a hen, make a short, low sound. Coddle. Treat someone in an indulgent or overprotective way. Construe. Interpret something in a particular way. Crinkle. Form small creases or wrinkles. Crumple. Crush something so that it becomes creased and wrinkled. Curvaceous. Having an attractively curved shape. Deadweight. The weight of a person or thing without the strength or ability to move themselves. Deface. Deliberately spoil the appearance of something. Domain. Historical land attached to a manor. Dignitary. A high-ranking person. Dissolute. Indulging in immoral activities. Distended. Swollen because of pressure from inside. Dogfish. A small shark with a long tail, living close to the seabed. Doublet. A man's short close-fitting padded jacket, worn from the 14th to the 17th century. Dumpy. Short and stout. Egret. A heron with mainly white plumage, having long plumes in the breeding season. Entreat. Ask someone to do something in an earnest or emotional way. Episcopate. The position or period of office of a bishop. Espy. Literary catch sight of someone or something. Extortionate. Much too high. Fajitas. A Mexican dish consisting of strips of spiced meat with vegetables and cheese, wrapped in a soft tortilla. Foobar. Out of working order, seriously, perhaps irreparably, damaged. Gnosis. Knowledge of spiritual mysteries. Hydrocephalus. A condition in which fluid accumulates in the brain. Imbibe. Formal or humorous drink alcohol. Impassive. Not feeling or showing emotion. Infirmity. Physical or mental weakness. Intransitive. Grammar, of a verb, not taking a direct object, e.g., die and he died suddenly. Invigorate. Give strength or energy to someone or something. Inviolable. Never to be broken, infringed, or violated. Kipper. A herring that has been split open, salted, and dried or smoked. Kismet. Destiny or fate. Lacuna. A gap or missing portion. Leaven. A substance, typically yeast, added to dough to make it ferment and rise. Lefty. Variant spelling of turdy. Lintel. A horizontal support across the top of a door or window. Literati. Educated people who are interested in literature. Micrometer. A gauge that measures small distances or thicknesses. Microorganism. A microscopic organism, especially a bacterium or virus. Mohegan. A member of an American, Indian people formerly inhabiting western parts of Connecticut and Massachusetts. Mousetrap. A trap for catching mice, traditionally baited with cheese. Musketeer. Historical one, a soldier armed with a musket. Neophyte. A person who is new to a subject, skill, or belief. Non-essential. Not absolutely necessary. Omnivorous. Of an animal, eating both plants and meat. Orienteering. A competitive sport in which runners have to find their way across rough country with the aid of a map and compass. Panoply. A large or impressive collection or display of something. Pansexual. Another term for omnisexual. Papuan. A person from Papua or Papua New Guinea. Peon. An unskilled Spanish-American farm worker. Phantasm. Literary, a thing that exists only in the imagination. Pin-up. A poster featuring a sexually attractive person. Pleb. Informal, derogatory, a lower-class person. Raindrop. A single drop of rain. Rattler. Informal, a rattlesnake. Reattach. Attach something again. Rumpus. A noisy disturbance. Sandinista. A member of a left-wing Nicaraguan political organization, in power from 1979 until 1990. Sassafras. An extract of the aromatic leaves or bark of a North American tree, used in medicines and perfumes. Scamp. Informal, a mischievous person, especially a child. Schoolmate. Informal, a fellow student. Screed. A long speech or piece of writing. Shipbuilder. A person or company that designs and builds ships. Showboat. A river steamboat on which theatrical performances are given. Showground. An area of land on which a show takes place. Spacesuit. A sealed and pressurized suit designed to allow an astronaut to survive in space. Spearmint. The common garden mint, used in cooking as an herb and as a flavoring. Strudel. A dessert of thin pastry rolled up around a fruit filling and baked. Subcontract. Employ a firm or person outside one's company to do work as part of a larger project. Swashbuckling. Engaging in or showing daring and romantic adventures. Swill. Informal drink something in large quantities. Tailspin. A fast revolving motion made by a rapidly descending aircraft. Tipster. A person who gives tips as to the likely winner of a race or contest. Toothy. Having or showing numerous, large, or prominent teeth. Traditionalism. The support of tradition, especially so as to resist change. Travertine. White or light-colored rock deposited from mineral springs, used in building. Troposphere. The lowest region of the atmosphere, extending from the Earth's surface to a height of about 6 to 10 kilometers, the lower boundary of the stratosphere. Undiluted. Of a liquid, not diluted. Unlined. Not marked with lines or wrinkles. Unstressed. Not pronounced with stress. Viscose. Rayon fabric or fiber made from treating cellulose with certain chemicals. Whetstone. A fine-grained stone used to sharpen cutting tools. Whiteout. A dense blizzard. Witless. Foolish, stupid. Workroom. A room for working in. Ablative. Grammar of a case, indicating an agent, instrument, or source, expressed by, with, or from in English. Acerbic. Sharply critical and forthright. Adroit. Clever or skillful. Airhead. Informal, a stupid person. Airless. Stuffy, not ventilated. Alsatian. Brit. Amylase. Biochemistry and enzyme found in saliva that converts starch into sugars. AOE. Plan, chart, A to Z, atlas. Applet. Computing a small application running within a larger program. Arachnid. An invertebrate animal of a class including spiders, scorpions, mites, and ticks. Astound. Shock or greatly surprise someone. Beelzebub. The devil. Bergamot. An oily substance extracted from Seville oranges, used as flavoring in Earl Grey tea. Bilirubin. Biochemistry, an orange-yellow pigment formed in the liver by the breakdown of hemoglobin and excreted in bile. Boric. Chemistry of boron. Brachial. Anatomy of or relating to the arm, specifically the upper arm, or an arm-like structure. Broken-hearted. Overwhelmed by grief or disappointment. Bullhorn. A megaphone. Cellmate. A person with whom one shares a cell. Celt. 1. A member of a group of peoples inhabiting much of Europe and the western peninsula of Asia in pre-Roman times. Chairlift. A series of chairs hung from a moving cable, used for carrying passengers up and down a mountain. Chloroplast. A structure in green plant cells that contains chlorophyll and in which photosynthesis takes place. Chronometer. An instrument for measuring time accurately in spite of motion or varying conditions. Cowling. A removable cover for a vehicle or aircraft engine. Cravat. A short, wide strip of fabric worn by men around the neck and tucked inside an open-necked shirt. Cross-dressing. The practice of wearing clothing usually worn by the opposite sex. Declension. The changes in the form of a noun, pronoun, or adjective that identify its grammatical case, number, and gender. Dextrose. A naturally occurring form of glucose. Electrodynamics. The branch of mechanics concerned with the interaction of electric currents with magnetic or electric fields. Eurocentric. Regarding European culture as the most important, chiefly concerned with Europe. Evidential. Formal, relating to or providing evidence. Expeditious. Quick and efficient. Farrier. A smith who shoes horses. Ferric. Chemistry relating to iron with a valence of 3. Fixate. Be obsessively interested in someone or something. Flasher. A device or signal in which a light flashes on and off. Foretell. Predict the future. Frill. A strip of gathered or pleated material used as a decorative edging. Galvanize. Make someone do something by shocking or exciting them. Garçon. A waiter in a French restaurant. Gaucho. A cowboy from the South American plains. Hailstorm. A storm of heavy hail. Handmaiden. Old use of female servant. Heatstroke. A feverish condition caused by failure of the body's temperature-regulating mechanism when exposed to very high temperatures. High-rise. Having many stories. Hobgoblin. A mischievous imp. Hovel. A small squalid or run-down dwelling. Icebox. A chilled container for keeping food cold. Impinge. Have an effect. Inarticulate. Unable to express one's ideas or feelings clearly or easily. Infective. Capable of causing infection. Interloper. A person who is present in a place or situation where they are not wanted or do not belong. Ironstone. Sedimentary rock containing iron compounds. Itemize. Present something as a list of individual items or parts. Kaffir. Offensive, chiefly African, a black African. Kingmaker. A person who uses their political influence to bring a leader to power. Know-how. Practical knowledge or skill. Lightheaded. Dizzy and slightly faint. Lozenge. A small tablet of medicine that is sucked to soothe a sore throat. Mayoralty. The position or term of office of a mayor.